Hello everyone, SiegeLink here, back with another game of Tech 4 Diamond League. And surprisingly, this is actually going to happen right after Surreal vs. Knights of Ren. So now we're going to be facing Dead End. So this is kind of, not really a last second thing, it was actually kind of like a few minutes before, well probably not even a few minutes, but I think like 10 minutes before Knights of Ren started that Elite Slayer. Elite Slayer and me were talking all day. Um, I'm not going to mention a lot of the conversations because a lot of them were kind of annoying in some ways. But if you watch the stream, if you watch back the stream of Surreal versus Knights of Ren, you'll see me whisper some stuff to Renegade that I was quite annoyed about. But we're gonna send in Surreal right off the bat because he is gonna watch Game of Thrones, and apparently it's kind of a theme because Dead End apparently has lost, I think, a player or two because they're watching Game of Thrones right now. So we're gonna have speed. Yeah, that's actually not what we're gonna have. We're gonna have this guy here, which I actually asked how do you pronounce that because I know for certain I'm gonna butcher this name. I think I'm just gonna call it from one of the names that I saw in Hell's Kitchen because I know I can pronounce that, which is Roshni, and I think that's close enough that he won't get mad. It's the only way I'm gonna not completely butcher it, and like I'm actually gonna say it consistently. So we're reddening up. First map is going to be on 0 Year, which is actually the last map that we played in Surreal vs. Knights of Ren. So this will be interesting. We need to swap out player here. Okay, we're just getting the stream currently set up. So it might be a few minutes. I want to make sure I record this a little early so I can kind of explain why I'm recording again late at night. And this is also on Mother's Day. So thankfully it wasn't actually that busy of a day for me because we actually had our Mother's Day celebration before Mother's Day, which is good because it actually lasted until kind of late at night because my brother was teaching me, my parents, and his wife a new game he had. Alright, hopefully we'll get into the game real quick. Yeah, are we finally ready? At this point, I think I'm probably gonna put in like a time link in the description of my video to a place to jump to, so you can kind of just ignore all this. But apparently they are gonna send in speed right off the bat, unless they didn't realize that. Because they definitely at first said they were gonna send in Roshni. Considering how long this took, it would be kind of nice for me to restart this. But it's still fine otherwise. So in the top right, representing Surreal, the former team captain of Surreal. It is Surreal. Yeah, I know, kind of confusing. And in the top left, representing Dead End, it is Speed. TVZ on 0 Year. And weirdly, he's going for an immediate supply deep on the bottom. So I'm guessing this is going to be 2 racks Reaper, because I think you can do a decent wall off on the natural with that. He hasn't even, Dead End I don't think has studied my games yet. So I know that if they go for 2 racks, then they're going to be going for 2 Reapers. They're not going to be putting a reactor on 1. Alright, hatch. No barracks yet. I feel like... Oh wow, he's going to go really greedy here. CC before barracks. This is probably one of the greediest things you can do in this matchup. In fact, I would say it is the greediest thing you can do in this matchup, is to go for CC before. I mean, if they go spawning pool first, you're basically instantly dead. And even with Hatch Gas Pool, it can work out quite nicely. The thing is, it's kind of... The problem with TVZ is that if a Terran doesn't do any aggression towards a Zerg will be higher up on economy. If both players go greedy, the Zerg will be ahead, plain and simple. So, it's going to come down to, I think, what is he going to choose for later aggression, because he's not going to be able to do really any somewhat early aggression. I have seen SirReal lose a game, because, I think maybe even 2 games actually, where he didn't build a Spore Crawler in his mineral lines by the time that a Terran had Cloak. And in my opinion, I think Cloak Banshee is kind of overrated, because Cloak takes so long, and especially if it's standard, you should just be building a blind Spore every turn. If you don't have a Spore in each mineral line to deal with a Banshee quite easily, then you deserve to lose, especially since you should always be building a blind Spore Crawler, because it deals with pretty much any starport aggression. It deals with Banshee. You can move it if it's versus a Liberator. Against a Raven, you can pull drones back for a short chunk of time, and it can Spore Crawler, if it's in good position, can even do a bit of damage and make it so Raven can't comfortably go in a second time. So bunker, marine in it. Do we still? Okay, there's a factory. So let's say that would be a really late factory. Link speed. No. Has he? Okay, he has scouted the base. So if I'm, yeah. So SirReal actually can't really do too much. He could get a bunch of lings and try to go for this, but if he walls it off, it basically does nothing. He would have to go for Banes. And considering he has 3 bases and he already has some workers, I wouldn't actually mind that too much if he went for Banes. Because he can kind of guess that the factory is quite late because of how early the CC is. It's kind of 2 options once you see how early the CC is. It's go as greedy as possible, or it's go for a full-on aggression, and he's choosing to go as greedy as possible, which is definitely the safer play. Because with this wall off, Lings alone won't do anything. He would have to go for a Bane Nest. And he is going for a Bane Nest, but it's a little late here. Now, he does have 2 bases fully saturated, so it wouldn't be an all-in Bane Bust. Now, is there no lair on the way? It's not spreading creep quite well. But that's honestly something I don't fault him too much for, because I've seen that with way too many Diamond League players, believe me. 3rd hatch up. And economy is actually superior for that of the Terran. In fact, SirReal's not mining any gas right now. He's got 1 guy on gas, and that's it. And at this point, that's a huge misplay, especially because, oh boy, he's not sending drones over here, and it's actually going to be a BC rush. I actually had someone do this versus me in TVT, and I ended up crushing them pretty terribly. And they actually had the opportunity to actually beat me because they misread the situation. I had like 4 Marines, and they had a BC with half health. So they actually could have went in, and I wouldn't have had enough to deal with it. They could have killed basically every single thing I had. But they pulled it back, and that ended up costing them the game because I did quite a lot of damage on the other side of the map earlier. So that's dead. He's on eBay. And he doesn't have Overlord speed, yep. And thankfully he is building blind spores. But sadly, he's not building a hit squad of queens. He's got 2 here, 2 there, and 1 here. So if he can get 1 more on each base, which he is getting, okay. He's getting 1 there and 1 there. So none of the main base, and that's actually quite a big problem because he's not connected it with creep. Just now starting to do it. I feel like he really should try to send in another Overlord, in my opinion. Because at this point, alarm bells should be ringing. You've got full vision here. You know he's not going for a 3rd. You're not seeing any Hellions, and you're not seeing Banshees at this point might come, but I feel like he wouldn't just go for Banshees. So he's got a small hit squad of Lings, but he's still making Lings. Like, he is getting a Hydra 10. That is good. But he needs more queens on the main base. I think it's really going to come down to where he jumps to. I think most of the time you jump in the main base, so if he was to do that, it could be kind of bad. Yeah, so he hasn't had there. So he knows that he doesn't have a third. So I think at the 6-minute mark, you should kind of be aware that if I were him, I would love to see just leave one ling at each base, just to see the timing of it. Okay, now the first BC is coming in. Actually made a kind of a big mistake. He launched one at a time, which is a decent mistake because BC Rush is so uncommon that a lot of the power of it is in the surprise element. And now you see he's bringing in more queens. And it's working out pretty well for Speed here. Not too well. The problem is he's making just drones. He's getting the upgrades for Hydras. In fact, he's queued both of them, which is a mistake. But he's not getting any Hydras, which is kind of the problem here. He's still got a bunch of lings. Like, those lings pretty much right now are kind of useless, especially on this side of the map. Especially knowing your opponent has BCs, I feel like just sending at least one ling to scout the base locations. He could Bane Bust, but that's kind of risky, because he doesn't really know too much. Not making any Hydras, though, is a really big mistake right now. Like, really, really big mistake. Does have a hit squad of 4 queens, but against 3 BCs, especially once they get repaired, that's not going to be enough. 4 now. He's got to make Hydras right now, and more than that. I mean, look at his bank. Gas income, doesn't have guys here. It's a little bit of a misplay. But so a few small misplays on kind of both players' parts. I think right now Speed has probably a decent lead. Yeah, 60 workers. And just now is getting a good amount of Hydras. What it really needs to do is have 2 different groups, one for the lings and one not for the lings. Because if he sent the lings here, or had 1 ling at each base and was able to deal with that, that could be very good. Now, it's actually going to do double-pronged BC harass. This is something that you have seen every now and again in Farm 1 used to, but yeah, he's doing it different than some people would. But I definitely like the way he's doing it, but he's not playing quite well right now. Okay. Yeah, he definitely stayed there a bit too long. He wasn't getting a good trade there. A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll teleport a bunch in and then try to kill a bunch, but they'll do that with just one, and I feel like that's usually kind of a mistake. It's going to be a surprise either way, so it's better to just walk in and then have the ability to teleport out whenever you can. Moving on, I think, is a little bit of a mistake because your Spire's about to finish, and you don't have many Hydras. You really don't. You've got only 8. Because the thing is, he doesn't know he's going in full BCs yet. Okay, he should see it now, and he really needs to just bring those Hydras back. If he sends those Hydras in, that should be GG. Will he get one? I don't think he'll get one. That was he saw the BCs and he still sent the Hydras over. That was, I think, definitely the misplay. No. I'll get it over here. He's getting Corruptors, but not many. Doesn't have quite as much gas. I think he's forgotten. Yeah, he put the guys on that, but he forgot about the other one. Kind of weird. There's a few that are really low. Okay, he got one. He doesn't have the TP. So all that damage is going to be permanent. If he got a kill, it could have been huge. But keep in mind, BCs is pretty much the only thing he's got. And he's actually not mining with this. That could definitely be a way that SirReal gets back in this. Oh, wow. Okay, then. Planetary plus multiple of that, okay. Okay, now he's doing that. Send them down there and he's not getting any guys up here. Yeah, I feel like Hydras in general are kind of overrated because you can see the problem with SirReal is that he's getting multitasked at, and he can't have Hydras on both spots of the map. And he's getting crushed because of it. He went for a few Corruptors, but then they ended up dying. If he had Corruptors earlier, it would have been a lot better. If he loses the lair, that's going to be terrible. Okay, he didn't jump out there, so he got one. So he's not quite dead. No, he doesn't know about this either. He does know about the third base. Honestly, the biggest problem for SirReal is that he's not mining, he's not evening out his bases. He's mining like gas. He's not like mining a bunch of minerals and not much gas. If anything, it would be good for him to kind of use a bunch of his workers to I mean, usually it would be good to just use a bunch of the workers and minerals to build just a bunch of spores to defend against the BCs, but two problems with that. First of all, the BCs are quite large in number, and he's actually starting to transition. And second of all, he's lost so many workers. He's lost 31 workers. Thankfully, he has skill 23, and a lot of them weren't mining for a large amount of time, which means that he's not quite out of it. And at first I was going to say that the transition was actually kind of bad, but I kind of understand at this point the number of hydras will beat SirReal, or will beat Speed, but the way he's using the BC is just, you can kind of tell that SirReal is just not good at defending multiple locations, and it's kind of hard to do so with hydras. And it looks like what SirReal's doing is kind of smart. He wants to just attack before the transition's ready. The thing is, he doesn't know the transition's ready. Like, I would love to see at this point just getting like 20 speedlings, because even if he has just pure battle cruisers, you can use those to just target SCPs in the base. And much like with me, very bad timing. Yeah, just target the base. Good job. Yeah, he's gonna get a lot of workers. Now, I think can't you target those when they're so it's gonna be close. But yeah, with those two coming in, he's gonna win it with no target fire. Wait, where are his queens? Does he only have 4 queens? I thought he had. Yeah, apparently he wasn't making queens. It's definitely a mistake because of how many queens he has. Yeah, this has definitely been a slugfest. Both players making some kind of slight mistakes here and there, and then some of them not even being mistakes, but just kind of playing properly. And yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You've got queens all the way down here, and then you got 2 BCs killing the layer. It's better to go corruptors and hydras against BCs because they don't have to, because they can actually just move around better. Just having one corruptor is not going to do anything. Now, SirReal did admit that he was the worst player, so you just want to get the worst player out of the way first, which, to be honest, most people would find it's a dumb strategy, but I actually find it a good strategy. Yeah, I feel like at this point, it should be game, because he just doesn't have enough anti-air. Because he's just always teleported out. He's got 7 BCs right now. Yeah, he just doesn't have enough units. He's got 5 hydras and 3 queens. I mean, if he teleported all of them right now, he would kill everything. So, SirReal's not going to GG yet because he doesn't know exactly how much, but that is pretty much GG. And he's still... he looks at his gas count and he's still not mining there. That's kind of odd. And honestly, I'm kind of surprised that he transitioned. That, Speed transitioned, because if you look, he's not even, like, he's, like, debating if he wants to transition. Like, he's getting armor, but he's not making, like, medevacs or Vikings or anything. He's just making more BCs. He, like, made a small chunk of bio and then made BCs. Yeah, I think once SirReal sees this, he's gonna GG. No doubt.
Swarm forces under attack.
He's gonna see this huge battle cruiser fleet, realize he has pretty much no anti-air left. Lose the hydrogen, that's most definitely a GG here. Good try from SirReal. I think
Hive cluster under
probably could have
assault.
won it if he
Swarm forces under attack.
if he send in maybe another overlord, and I think just I'm not even sure if going for corruptors would have helped the way that ended up. The big thing was just not mining gas. If he was mining gas, I think he definitely would have won that game, given how close it was. Like, it was just a massive teeter-totter. All of a sudden, this person is in a good spot now. This person's in a good spot, that type of thing. So, SirReal will lose the first one, but, you know, SirReal admitted himself that he was the worst player. So, Get the worst one out of the way first. We'll see how things go. I'll see you guys in the next video.